break. We actually did it. We prepared learning content that comprised of maths, English, and science. The maths consists of addition, division, and subtraction. You can see the division aspect. This is assignments and explanations to follow. This is for division. This is the classwork that we're giving. There's a video and audio explanations that we attached to it. Also, in the English language, we uploaded contents on nouns. You see that there are nouns. You see explanations. You see assignments. We also prepared math pronouns. You see the chart, the math attached to this learning content using the OneNote application. So in the sciences, we also taught how to upload videos to buttress our point, our explanations. You see the explanations are there, and there is a video that we can also insert into the OneNote to explain further what we are trying to teach the children, like this.
We see many things around us. Some are living things, while some are non-living things. Things that have life are living things, like human beings, animals.
So when we sent this to the parents, they were so excited. The children were excited. According to the report that we got, the learning took place so easily because they could see pictures of what they were being taught, and it was so interesting. It was fun, and it was educating as well.
Last year, during COVID-19 lockdown, in the year 2020, schools were shut down. We learned that so many schools in the diaspora, or even the schools in Nigeria, those big schools, continued their learning online. We actually thought that it was a lie. I, for one, thought it was never possible, that they were trying to deceive us and just trying to make us feel that they were big and all that. But during the course of our training, we were made to know that it was actually possible for learning to take place digitally, for the children to be able to write CBT exams, for them to be able to do their assignments and classworks online, and their exams will be marked, and they can also graduate. So our eyes were actually open. So last term, we decided to put it in test. We test ran it. We did our exams online too, and the children were able to write their exams successfully without any issues on the laptop. So we do not pray for another lockdown, but in the event of another lockdown, Courage Nursery and Primary School will still continue its learning activities.
Okay, so we actually learned how to prepare the CBT exams. So this was actually prepared by us, Courage Nursery and Primary Schools for Social Studies Basic 3. So the children read and they click on the right answers, and the questions are automatically marked because it has been programmed in the system. So as a matter of policy, we've decided that every term the children take the CBT, the computer-based exams online. So we want to get them exposed, so before they get to basic 6 and get to secondary school, they know how to take the CBT exams.
The management and staff of Courage Nursery and Primary School, as well as the pupils and parents, appreciate Bumi Adedayo, Coca-Cola, and other partners for this wonderful and massive kindness that is being shown to us. My able lecturer, Mr. Jude, my mentor, Mrs. Njideka, and the rest, Mr. Nani, we appreciate you. We say God will bless you abundantly. Thank you.
I'm Raul Profia from Fasloma Primary School, Lagos Island, Lagos State. I'm a teacher that I've been teaching for years. Some challenges which I don't have any answer to. I believe it's a normal thing to teach like that. To call people, to call students that this you are good, but the other one you are very poor. It is a normal thing for me as a teacher to say something like that. But when BAF came in to educate and assess, train us, I was able to know that it is very bad to label a child as Olodo, as it is popularly called. When a child is very poor academically, we Yoruba we say olodo. And from birth we said it is from birth that I know that it is very, very bad to label a child an olodo. By coming in, they introduce a 21st century teaching skill to us. From it, we are able to know that when you are teaching students, you let them collaborate with each other. From there, they learn from each other. Children learn from each other. Initially, I don't know that. I believe students only learn from teachers. But from the training given to us by BAP, I was able to know that you allow children to collaborate, learn from each other. You segment your teaching and learning. Let them learn from one another. So I say a very big thanks. I say a very big thanks to the BAF, which they have been helping the government school teachers in order for us to be in an equal level, probably with international teachers.
Are you ready, guys?
Yeah!
Wow. We want to say thank you very much, Bumi Adedayo Foundation. Thank you for that which you've done to Reverend Emmanuel Oyedele Ashamu Nursery and Primary School. I am Oloye Kende Samuel, the head teacher for the school, and today we find the privilege to say thank you so much for all you've handed down to us. Right from a couple of 2 months now has been a rigorous training with our schools and many other schools with you. You have actually brought us to the knowing that digital facilities are not just meant for playing games and doing any other chatting activities, but can be relevant in the classroom. You taught my teachers on how to use the digital facility to make a well-structured lesson plan with the use of the learning designer. You taught us how to make use of the PowerPoint, how to make use of the OneNote app, the Google Classroom. You help us to learn the flipped classroom, the different types of classroom we could ever have, and we know that blended learning is so sweet. You've helped us so far, and later and towards the end of the training, you subjected us to well-seasoned mentors, both in technical and in subjects, whereby teaching pedagogy is being handed down to us on how to handle teaching and learning in the class. You have done so well to us. As a school, we have benefited so much, and we know that the future of these young ones is well preserved, because learning is going to be much more interesting in the classroom with them now that these facilities are in our hands. We promise that we are going to make better use of them, of what we've been taught.
We
will introduce projector in the future in the classroom, whereby instructional materials will be so visible and visualized by the pupils alongside. We want to thank you because along the line, you gave us a laptop, Core i3 laptop, HP laptop, 8 gig, 1 terabyte, and we are so much grateful for this. Even with the headsets, we say thank you for recording videos in the in the digital space. We want to say thank you for this. Thank you, Bumi Adedayo Foundation. Thank you, the Coca-Cola Foundation and sponsor. And from the stables of my pupils, we want to say thank you, Bumi Adedayo Foundation, Coca-Cola Foundation and sponsors. Thank you for building our future by enriching our teachers. Bye.
My name is Mrs. Sabogorin Felicia Abiola, the head teacher of Body Camp Nursery and Primary School. I want to appreciate BAF Foundation and Lagos State as a whole for putting up this program. I have been part of the program right from the day one. And I can observe lots of improvement on my teachers due to the training they have undergone. They have really improved. So I want to say thank you to BAF Foundation, and I look forward to more of this program so that teachers in Lagos State as a whole can undergo this program, and there will be a lot of improvement in education as a whole. Thank you to BAF Foundation.
kí ló fẹ́ lọ rà? Báwo ló fẹ́ jẹ?
My name is Mrs. Enakimio Georgina, proprietress of Joji Great Era Nursery and Primary School in Badagry. I'm excited to be here. My school participated in this BAF TRT course, and it was a very wow experience that we had. The different packages that we learned were so exciting, especially the learning designer. For me, the learning designer is what makes my day. And also, we had fun using the Google Classroom and the OneNote. That's another unique one. Our teachers cooperated so well. As we are training, in turn we are training our teachers. We've carried our parents along. The children are also excited. They can do one or two things. And we hopefully at resumption, we would have entered fully into the use of digital learning. We have had our parents' support. We are grateful to BAF. We are grateful to Coca-Cola Foundation. In particular, we are grateful to W Holistic Foundation and every other sponsor. We say thank you for giving us this opportunity. And the school, as well as myself, we are excited coming top of this competition. God bless you. We hope to do more with you, and we'll be excited given the opportunity. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. My name is Tennyson Lovett. I'm from Courage Nursery and Primary School. Our school is located at number 122 Ibiye Magbon Road, off Badagry Expressway. I am one of the certified tech-relevant teachers that is trained by Bumi Adedayo Foundation, sponsored by Coca-Cola. So today I'm going to be showing some of the things that we were actually taught. Before now, what we could do with our phones and with our laptop was just to type messages, type memos to parents, just to use our laptops to keep record of our pupils that are enrolled and registered in the school. We didn't really know that it was possible for us to actually prepare our own learning contents using the phones and with our laptops. But during the course of the training, we're made to understand that we can actually prepare our own videos, our own learning contents, and we can also teach our children digitally. So we're taught to use PowerPoint, we're taught to use OneNote, we're taught to use Google Classroom. We're even taught how to prepare our lesson plans online, and preparing a digital school completely online was made possible, and all these were taught. So it was kind of an eye-opener. It was educating. Yes, they opened our eyes to so many things, and I'm going to be showing some of the things that we actually learned during the course of this program. Stay with me.
Okay, so using PowerPoint, we're taught how to make lovely designs, how to insert pictures with beautiful colors to attract the interest of the children and to aid learning. You can see this was actually designed by us using PowerPoint presentations, talking about decimal fractions and the rest. Examples in the slides can also be given to the children just to aid the learnability. So we actually learned a lot. This one is on English language, talking about pronouns and all that. These and many more we have learned. Time would not really permit me to share most of the things that we were taught, but it was really massive, it was educating, and it's we're really getting a big impact in the life of the children because they are excited about it, and as their excitement increases, it increases the level in which they grab what out they can see. We can insert videos from YouTube for them. They look at it, they watch it, and they are happy. So we thank Bumi Adedayo, we thank the sponsors, and everybody for this loud experience. Okay, so we're also taught how to use the OneNote application to prepare learning content that comprises of different subjects for the children. So during the holiday, when we're going for midterm break, we actually did it We prepared learning content that comprises of maths, English, and science. The maths consists of addition, division, and subtraction. You can see the division aspect. This is the assignments and explanations to follow. This is for division. This is the classwork that we're giving. There's a video and audio explanations that we attached to it. Also, in the English language, we uploaded contents on nouns. You see that there are nouns. You see explanations. You see assignments. We also prepared on pronouns. You see the chart that was attached to this learning content using the OneNote application. So in the sciences, we also taught how to upload videos to buttress our point, our explanations. You see the explanations that are there, and there is a video that we can also insert into the OneNote to explain further what we are trying to teach the children, like this.
We see many things around us. Some are living things, while some are non-living things. Things that have life are living things, like human beings, animals.
So when we sent this to the parents, they were so excited. The children were excited. According to the report that we got, the learning took place so easily because they could see pictures of what they were being taught, and it was so interesting. It was fun, and it was educating as well.
Last year, during COVID-19 lockdown, in the year 2020, schools were shut down. We learned that so many schools in the diaspora, or even the schools in Nigeria, those big schools, continued their learning online. We actually thought that it was a lie. I, for one, thought it was never possible. That they were trying to deceive us and just trying to make us feel that they were big and all that. But during the course of our training, we were made to know that it was actually possible for learning to take place digitally, for the children to be able to write CBT exams, for them to be able to do their assignments and classworks online, and their exams will be marked, and they can also graduate. So our eyes were actually open. So last term, we decided to put it in test. We test ran it. We did our exams online too, and the children were able to write their exams successfully without any issues on the laptop. So we do not pray for another lockdown, but in the event of another lockdown, Courage Nursery and Primary School will still continue its learning activities.
Okay, so we actually learned how to prepare the CBT exams. So this was actually prepared by us, Courage Nursery and Primary Schools for Social Studies Basic 3. So the children read and they click on the right answers, and the questions are automatically marked because it has been programmed in the system. So as a matter of policy, we've decided that every term the children take the CBT, the computer-based exams online. So we want to get them exposed, so before they get to basic 6 and get to secondary school, they know how to take the CBT exams.
The management and staff of Courage Nursery and Primary School, as well as the pupils and parents, appreciate Bumi Adedayo, Coca-Cola, and other partners.
Teachers are the gateway to the future, and they are the most important school-based factor that determines effective learning outcomes. In line with the Sustainable Development Goal 4, which seeks to improve access to quality education, the Bumi Adedayo Foundation continues to invest in professional teacher training and development, especially in public primary schools, through its various education intervention programs.
Does anybody want to tell me who we're in trust to take care of the children we put in primary schools? Does anybody here know who they are? Teachers, thank you very much. It was crystal clear to us that anything we did for it to have effect, we needed to look after the teachers. And if we looked after the teachers, they would look after the children. And it is a symbiotic relationship.
Despite the huge influence that teachers have on learners that pass through them, the quality and competence of these classroom teachers continue to pose serious threats to quality education and the learners in most developing countries. In Nigeria, poor teacher quality, among others, is one of the major problems confronting the educational sector. This fact has been established in international and local reports as well as literatures. In a bid to contribute to the development of public primary education in Nigeria, Bumi Adedayo Foundation, as part of its education interventions, has been organizing professional development trainings for teachers and school leaders across Lagos State. Prior to the maiden professional teacher training by the foundation, a baseline study was conducted across randomly selected schools in order to understand the challenges that are peculiar to its project target beneficiaries. The result from this study led to the first teacher training workshop in 2016, which later became CITPPHT in 2018.
The origin of that can be dated to 2016 summer, when we conducted a 2-week training program for teachers, for 50 teachers from 2 public primary schools. And the outcome of that training showed that teachers performed better in class. They had better grasp of classroom management, behavior management, task setting, teaching and learning process documentation in the classroom. So we then felt it was a good idea to expand the reach of this project. And in 2017, we went on to look for more schools in Lagos State, while in 2018, we ran the first edition of the CITPPST, which went on for 1 whole academic session.
In 2018, 268 teachers were trained, although only 185 teachers met the graduation requirements and got certified through this project. The percentage of outstanding teachers increased from 6% at the beginning to 37% at the end of the training, and performance of pupils increased towards 70 to 100% after comparing 4 terms. As a result of the huge impacts of the professional teacher development training workshops on both the teachers and pupils, the project was entered for a Google Impact Challenge as the Continuous In-Service Training for Public Primary School Teachers (CITPPHT), and the foundation was awarded the grant to train more teachers.
I'm happy to announce to you today that this program was entered into the Google Impact Challenge competition, and we won the princely sum of $1,225,000, which will be strictly applied to this program over the next 2 years. The money cannot be used for anything else.
Although the grant was to train 750 teachers from 75 schools in 5 local government areas of Lagos State, a total of 1,064 teachers and head teachers in Lagos Island, Etiosa, Koshofe, Agege, and Ajeromi Ifelodun were enrolled and trained. Upon receipt of the grant, another baseline lesson observation study was carried out by the foundation, but led by Mr. Akin Alamu, the lead consultant of high-rank curriculum. 262 teachers from 42 of the 75 beneficiary schools were observed to understand their skill set and current status in working with children before the commencement of the training.
The parameters which we used to do this study centered around facilitating learning. We wanted to understand if the teachers were just dishing out information or they were involving the learners in the process of teaching and learning. We tried to get to understand how they were setting tasks. Were they setting challenging tasks or just giving the children tasks that will not make them to be thinkers. We wanted to understand collaboration. How were they leading the children to collaborate and solve problems? We wanted to see how the teachers were arranging their environment to make it to be conducive for learning. We, of course, saw how the teachers were using assessments to understand the process in order to improve on teaching and learning. And we saw how they were using behavior management strategies to work with the children. So
the consultant and facilitators shed more light on the findings from the CITPPST baseline findings.
after we have done this study, the outcome, as I said, um, not very impressive. The outcome of the exercise revealed that 17% of the teachers were outstanding and 11% were inadequate, while about 33% requires improvement.
If these teachers continue to teach without immediate professional development and retraining, it will not only threaten quality teaching and learning, but also increase the percentage of primary school leavers who cannot read or write effectively.
In order to address the problems that we found during the baseline assessment, we came back to the drawing board. We launched a call for consultants and recruited IRAN curriculum, whose lead consultant is Mr. Akin Alamu. So Mr. Akin Alamu came on board, and with the right support, and of course, we were able to design the assessment tools. We're also able to design the content that would specifically address the problems that we found. You can speak more to the technicality behind the content, the various aspects of the content, the activity, the codes, the group work, and what have you.
We designed a learning program. This learning program was segmented into 6 modules. The first 3 modules, which serve as foundation for the practical skills which we will be teaching them.
Also, we needed to infuse coaching and mentoring program in between. So that informed how we staggered the training. So we didn't conduct like a 1 week long marathon training for teachers. No, what we did rather was to break what would have been done in 1 week to about a year. So we developed 6 modules, delivered 2 per term, and taken across 3 terms. So we had 1 full session to deliver 6 modules. And while some may think this is a waste of time, waste of money, we felt it was necessary because it afforded us the opportunity to train them in person, and after that we go back to their schools to observe them in the classroom as they teach and deliver what they've learned. It also afforded the participants the opportunity to learn in class at the training venue and go back to their various schools to implement what has been learned for another 4 weeks. They have a WhatsApp community where they can share their challenges, ask questions, ask the consultants, the facilitators questions, deepen learning and practice what has been taught for another 4 weeks.
Through the CITPPST, we are solving the problem of poor teaching quality and equipping participants with the 21st century skills. The teachers were exposed to relevant skills in teaching methodologies, effective task setting and assessment, communication, creativity, critical thinking, and collaboration, which are commonly referred to as 4 C's of the century: behavioral management and 21st century skills. Also, all school heads and assistants from the 75 beneficiary schools were enrolled in the School Leadership Program (SLP), where they participated in leadership bootcamp and were empowered with stakeholder management, vision building skills, among many others.
We just finished the workshop with the Bumi Adedayo Foundation, and it was about three core elements that has to do with how school managers or school leaders will go about their vision statements, values, and then their mission statements as well. And I thought it was a laudable workshop, because a lot of times, I haven't worked with these school leaders in the last 9 years, haven't trained about 5,000 of them. There's a common thread that you will find. A lot of them tend to struggle with how to, cast the visions for their schools. And because of that element of struggle, the teachers that work with them are also finding it difficult to understand the direction that they're heading. So I think with understanding how their vision statement should be written, how their mission statement should also be written as well, and then the element around being able to communicate with their stakeholders, I thought that was also very important. And then time management, a lot of them tend to also focus on things that are not very, very, very important in terms of how they should prioritize their timing, especially leaving off the element of teaching and learning, which is the most fantastic or the most important element of school leadership. And I also thought the area of decision making and problem solving was also very fantastic. A lot of times they are caught in between problems and they don't know how to take decisions. So we've looked at strategies to be able to take decisions, to be able to identify problems, to be able to define them properly so that they can take the right decisions to solve those problems.
And I'm even more excited now that we are going further in Lagos State to train the head teachers. I've attended several trainings and it has been directed at the secondary school teachers, the principals, because and the manual is so rich, the course is so rich, and I see, like I was telling the teachers earlier, and I see Lagos State really actually taking the lead in Africa regarding education, particularly elementary, because they've gone to where it really matters.
And finally, I think the most important was how they build teams. Sometimes they struggle to work with their teachers, the community, with parents and with students. So I think the element of team building is also very important, so that when they have their vision, they're able to communicate that, work within a proper time frame, managing their time, and they're able to work with teams. Then they can solve problems properly and then take the right decisions that will help them go further with their leadership in schools. This is a rare but fantastic opportunity that BAF is offering school leaders, teachers. I mean, you can't find this anywhere. This is so rare. There are so very few organizations that are interested in teacher development or school leadership development. This is one fantastic project that I would say very laudable, and we will always want to be a part of it.
17 veteran educators and consultants were recruited to facilitate the in-class trainings across the 5 locations. These are what some of the facilitators have to say about the intervention.
It has been a wonderful experience for me. Apart from the learning opportunities I had with the teachers, I have personally learned on the different modules, and I have personal reflections that I'm also doing. What excites me so much about working with these teachers is the fact that you can see that a lot of them are passionate about changing. There are things that they don't know about being the 21st century teacher, but they are ready and they are willing to change. After doing the observation with some of them, I did a second observation and a third observation. I'm also excited about the growth that I am beginning to see in them. So in that area, I believe that BAF is doing a very good job.
And then from what the observation, it's really showed that there's been a number of improvements, a lot of improvement from what we saw from baseline, from what it used to be. There is now consciousness of class management, consciousness of methods to adopt, the consciousness of presentation of content, and then involvement of the learners, especially in terms of group work, collaboration. That improved, from where it was.
So a typical example of BAF success story is the story of Sandra, a primary 6 class teacher in Goriola Primary School 1. My first observation of Sandra's class was so traumatic. I was so held back. The class was as cold as a dead place. And most of the students were so scared of her, they could not respond. She was teaching English studies and none of them could make any response. And she was just there as the teacher, performing her role, being the only person talking in the classroom. And she was embarrassed at a point that the head teacher had to he wanted to come in, and I had to tell him, no, we don't need, I'm just here to observe. And so I didn't give any comment, but I wrote in my rubrics what I saw. But let me tell you for a fact, last week when I went back for observation, I was wowed. knowing that I had observed that again into the training. And now, what I saw her doing last week was so transformational. She is really one of the teachers I'll give kudos to. She has moved from a zero-level teacher to an outstanding teacher. She now allows her students to take ownership of the class. They are involved in the activities. They are even involved in teaching and learning. They took the role of a teacher, teaching one another, and the class was so engaging. And it is worthy of note that this year our class is actually has more students than it had last time I observed her. And she was able to manage the behavior very well. She was able to show delivery, very competent. The communication was effective. There was feedback. She was able to give appropriate and positive feedback to the students. And it's worthy of note as well that she has more confidence, more joy doing what she's doing.
My name is Ophili Edith from Musafeja Primary School, Uworo. There is a child in my class. Before this BAF training, their training is that the mindset is that the child doesn't know how to read and he cannot improve. Just for him to finish primary 6 and the dropout and go and start learning something. But after the training, we know that the child can learn, it can improve. Then we could use the method we learned from batch training and brought the child closer, and the child is ready to have. Mohammed is now can read and he's even ready. He has even ready to go to school, not with force, because he has improved and he start enjoying school, education, start enjoying learning now. So he has even gone to the among the people that's going to JSS1 now.
I've learned so much from the program. The first skill that will be taught, the communication, the collaboration, the critical thinking, and being creative. This has done so much well in making my pupils to enter the real world, involving the children, making the learning a real center, making sure that Lagos is progressing. And I say big thank you. Once again, a big thank you to BAF Foundation for the knowledge they've imparted to us. All what we've been taught on measurements, on evaluation, and assessment has made my life to change.
Ella, before now, once I just entered the class, teach. But now, I through this training, I've been able to group my children into different groups. Before, I don't do that at all. But through the help of this training, I've been meant to understand that for easy communication, group your pupils. And I did that recently by grouping my pupils after fruits. One banana, the other coconut, the other apple, the other orange, and also collaboration. Once I give a sum on the board, I'll tell them, okay, apple group, work together, giving them some time. Then after that, they supply me the answer. But prayer before now, I don't do that. I don't normally do that. But through the help of this training, I have been practicing it and it has been helping me.
As part of the monitoring and evaluation components of the project, 3 post-training workshop classroom lesson observation and visitation was carried out across all 42 baseline schools. This was in addition to the pre- and post-workshop tests and evaluation. The foundation also developed the Bumi Adedayo Foundation Electronic Evaluation Portal, BEEP, for easy M&E activities. Through BEEP, participants' attendance was easily tracked and all teachers' ratings and comments from facilitators are uploaded by the facilitators into BEEP and synchronized to easily monitor their progress and improvement after every training. BEEP can be accessed at www.beep.bumiadedayofoundation.org.
This portal covers various aspects of the project. One of the aspects outside the attendance feature of the BEEP tool, we have the one for lesson observation. Now, during lesson observation, our observers go into classrooms to observe teachers to ensure that whatever they've been taught in the course of the training that they've attended, they actually implement in their classrooms. Now, when they go into the classroom, they make use of the BEEP tool to rate the teachers using the rubric, and we have different parameters that they are being rated against. Now, at the end of the day, each teacher at the end of the observation is either a teacher falls into inadequate, requires improvement, good, or outstanding. So whichever score you fall into, whichever percentage you fall into, there's a position for you. So it's either you fall into any of these 4 categories. We expect that for teachers that are inadequate from our baseline reports, as a result of this project, we expect that teachers that are inadequate as either move to being requires improvement. In fact, we don't even want to see any teacher that requires improvement. We want to see good teachers. We want to see teachers that are standing in our various public schools.
At the end of the project, after 3 evaluations, the teacher have improved from where they were to a position where they can be trusted to impact learners appropriately. This diagram shows the comparison between the baseline performance and the endline performance of teachers. As shown, the percentage of outstanding teachers grew from 19% at the beginning to 24%. Percentage of good teachers grew by 19%, 40 to 59. Those who require improvement has reduced from 32% to 15%, and percentage of inadequate reduced from 9% to 3%. It is worthy of note that the CITPPST training have also impacted on the behaviors, attitude, and mindset of the teachers. Here are some testimonies.
When a child is very poor academically, we Yoruba we say Olodo. And from birth we said it is from birth that I know that it is very, very bad to label a child an Olodo. By coming in, they introduce a 21st century teaching skill to us. From it, you are able to know that when you are teaching students, you let them collaborate with each other. From there, they learn from each other. Children learn from each other. Initially, I don't know that. I believe students only learn from teachers. But from the training given to us by BAP, I was able to know that you allowed children to collaborate, learn from each other.
I've learned about how to use the assessment, the feedback, and the emotional about the process. Because we are taught that not everything is assessment or is a measurement. So we need to know more about the pupils. We need to know what makes them not to be participating fully well in the class. All these are going to help us in achieving our aim and even to make us proud as a teacher.
My name is Ayokwe Jideaka, and I serve in an advisory capacity to the foundation on their various programs. This program, that's the CITPPST, has been on for about a year now, and we're bringing it to a close. And in addition to that, I also serve as a facilitator and a trainer of the facilitators on this program, and it's really been exciting to see teachers coming, wondering what this is all about, to them learning and then exhibiting what they have learned. You can hear there's a lot of conversations going on in the background, and that's what we call constructive noise, debating what to do with what they have learned and actually putting it into practice. And the most exciting part for me is actually going into the classrooms and seeing them put to use what they have learned, in spite of a number of other training programs that are going. When you walk into a BAF school, as we like to call those schools, you can see a number of things that they have learned, and you can see them put it into practice. So to the teachers, I'll say, the only thing to do with what you have learned is to use it. Otherwise, you would have wasted your time and the time of the foundation and all the resources that have gone into this. So I wish everyone the very best, and I'm looking forward to the next phase of the BAF programs.
For Bumi Adedayo Foundation, is a real good foundation because they've done a lot without contributing from our own side. In fact, with the money they have spent, their time, we really appreciate them. I will give them awesome praise right now. A, W, E S O M E. You are awesome, awesome, totally.
Through training partnership with other organizations, all participants also received additional trainings in different areas that would help them in the classroom. Trauma Care International Foundation trained the teachers on FIRST and CPR. Junior Achievement Nigeria trained them on financial literacy for teachers. Patrick Speech and Language Center exposed them to techniques for managing special kids learners. Pinnacle Medical Services facilitated sections on mental health for teachers. The Max Life Coaching helps them on emotional intelligence in the teaching profession. This project has reached 885 classroom teachers, 179 school heads, and over 42,000 primary school pupils across 75 schools in 5 local government areas in 1 year. In 10 years, these trained classroom teachers would have professionally taught over 420,000 the right way.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to thank everybody for taking the time to be here this morning. On behalf of the Bumi Foundation, we're grateful for you being around with us today. It is no small feat, and it's for this reason that we would like to celebrate them, to encourage them, and more importantly, to show as a whole what is being done, what has been done, and the potential of what can be done. We all work together.
Some of you heard things that since changed your lives, am I correct? We've gotten feedback from people on how they've been able to revisit activating EdTech in their schools. Things that they either saw were impossible before had become possible. They learned how to start in bits and then scale up gradually. So for us, that was quite a successful event, and it meant it gave the foothold to other things that happened after that.
There is a way knowledge will come to you, and you yourself will be like, where was I all this while? Was I on Earth? In fact, that was the situation they put us. I was like, I thought I knew. You know, at first, you know, where the COVID, you know, it's a general issue. It put us all in a very messy situation, and we were like, we can't just continue like this. This TLT training is actually an answered prayer to us. And let me say that in a nutshell, we suddenly realized that this phone, okay, let me put it this way. It's like you have solution, you are crying about the problem, and the solution is in your hand. You can imagine how stupid you look to yourself when you suddenly realize that, hey, what's this?
Everybody here and everybody who has benefited from the training, whether you're part of the top 30 or not, you guys are all winners. Everybody here is a winner. Because one way or the other, we've invested collectively in the future of our children. There's a saying that goes, when you train a child, you train the community.
So while we are excited to be ramping up things in this project, we are also looking forward to the great stories that will be told across our schools. We're looking forward to hearing amazing things that you're doing with our children and in the communities at large. This is not where it ends. I expect that as we leave here, we go back to our schools, those that are set to receive the computer hardware and software, even those that are not going to receive, the learnings that you've learned here today, please take them home with you. Take them to your schools. Invite them in your children, in your pupils in your school. Because at the end of the day, you see the results subsequently, and it'll be amazing that you helped mold those lives. It'll be amazing that you were part of the process. It'll be amazing that you helped make a change and impacted just not one, more people.
From Fasloma Primary School, Lagos Island, Lagos State. I'm a teacher that I've been teaching for years, but with some challenges which I don't have any answer to. I believe it's a normal thing to teach like that. To call people, to call students that this you are good, but the other one you are very poor. It is a normal thing for me as a teacher to say something like that. But when BAF came in to educate and assess, train us, I was able to know that it is very bad to label a child an olodo, as it is popularly called. When a child is very poor academically, we Yoruba will say olodo. And from birth we said it is from birth that I know that it is very, very bad to label a child an olodo. By coming in, they introduced a 21st century teaching skill to us. From it, we are able to know that when you are teaching students, you let them collaborate with each other. From there, they learn from each other. Children learn from each other. Initially, I don't know that. I believe students only learn from teachers. But from the training given to us by BAF, I was able to know that you allow children to collaborate, learn from each other. You segment your teaching and learning. Let them learn from one another. So I say a very big thanks. I say a very big thanks to the BAF, which they have been helping the government school teachers in order for us to be in an equal level, probably with international teachers.
My name is Mrs. Enafime Georgina, the proprietress of Georgie Greatara Nursery and Primary School, Badagry. In some time past, W Holistic Solution gave us the opportunity to register for BAF/TRT training. And I quickly keyed into it because I know they always have laudable programs to take us through. Our school came out as one of the schools selected for this training, and we began the journey. But mentioning digital learning, it was like a mirage. How are we going to do this? But We took it as a challenge because in our school, our mantra goes that if it is humanly possible, I can do it. So we felt, yes, this is the time to challenge ourselves, and went headlong for this training. Myself, my maths English teacher, as well as the IT teacher, we all worked together. And at the end of the selection, our school, Joji Great Era Nursery and Primary School in Badagry, came as Grantee School 1. It was all a success story. Our fears did not happen. We started with learning the creation tools. We learned the digital tools as well as the creation tools, and then we proceeded to the PowerPoint. The PowerPoint, we learned how to type our work into slides in such a way that we can present them to the children. You can see some of the slides on social studies. This we learned how to type, how to edit, how to insert, to use different designs, even the animations. We're able to use this all in PowerPoint. We also learned how to use the learning designer. So we downloaded the learning designer. Oh, it's a beautiful one. This is my favorite in all, because it helps you to plan your lesson effectively in such a way that all your learning outcomes are standardized. And you know, when you are teaching a complete lesson, the children benefit so much. You can look at this chart, how beautiful it looked, and the different aspects of the learning outcomes covered. This is the outcome of using the learning design. It's also very good. And then we proceeded to the Google Classroom. Let me show you here that this is our Google Classroom that we have done for our school as a result of the training we got from BAF TRT. You can see the different classes are represented. You have the primary 3, the primary 2, the astounding primary 6, successful primary 1, the KG class, precious primary 4, and so on, champion prep. All these classes have been able to use the Google Classroom, and I want to also let you know that by extension our children have started using this in their homes through the flipped blended learning. We now give children work to do in their different classrooms, and they submit to us. Then we also went to the OneNote. That also is unique in its own, that it helps both the teachers and the management to work together. So knowing what the teachers are doing in terms of preparation, and it also helps the management to supervise exactly what the teachers are. The impact that this training has had on us as a school are so great. One, we've been able to train other teachers, other members of the teaching staff on digital learning, that is through the various digital content, like the use of the PowerPoint, the OneNote, the others that we've learned during our training. And in furtherance to that, each of those teachers have registered on the teachersbalearner.org, currently undergoing the complete training with this organization. We hope that they will come out better, and together we will move digital learning to the next level. For our children who are already using the Google Classroom, they have shown so much interest in this that when you give them an assignment, they ask for more. So this flipped blended learning is really helping us and making our children to gain more in their learning outcome. Again, we also have made provision for children whose parents cannot provide their devices. We arrange for them to use their valuable devices in our schools after school hours, just to support them, so that we are leaving no child behind. Hopefully, we believe that in September, more parents will key into this program, because the school is talking with some digital device providers to provide these devices for the parents at subsidized rates so that they can also pay instrumentally for their children to have these devices. And when that happens, surely we are taking these children to the next level. All of us will be able to move at the same pace. The fleet blended learning has really helped us. It's helping us to achieve a greater learning outcome for the children, and we are happy with this. Where next are we going? As the Grantee School 1, we don't want to relent on our efforts. We are planning to take on robotic education, and we are making contacts that 1 to 3 teachers will attend the training and in turn come and train the other members of staff so that the children can be the beneficiary of this training. Indeed, we are happy with what BA Learner and the TRT training has done for us. Our appreciation goes to the Bumi Adedayo Foundation, Coca-Cola, our sponsor, Holistic Solution, Tasty Time, and every other sponsors. We are saying a big thank you. You have done us a very good job. We are proud of you and want to promise you that we will not leave it at this point. We are going to take it to the next level. Thank you and God bless you.
this great program. And it's the opening ceremony of the project, which was about the subject project in my practice. So I would like to start by apologizing first for starting late. We know a good number of you they came here before the time, so we appreciate that and commend you on that. So right away we'll start. And before we go into the ceremony proper, I'd like to bring to the high table some very special persons. They are in our midst right now. So first of all, I would like to call on Mr. Martins, Mr. Kevin Martins. He is the managing consultant of the Adelaide Foundation, and he will be representing the foundation. So, Mr. Martins. Okay, next we have Mrs. Injidiaka. She's CEO National House Limited. She's our technical partner. I think most of you met her personally this time too. So welcome her. And we also have Mrs. Idiage. She's the head teacher of the whole school, this school you're accommodated us right now. She's the head teacher, and she'll be representing all sides of association nationwide. And we have Mr. Wale from Right Food. They are refreshment partners. So the goodies you'll be having this morning is coming from Right Food. So let's appreciate Mr. Wale. Okay, so without taking much of the time, we'll go straight to open the ceremony. And I'd like to call on Ms. Omolayo from Philat Nursery Primary School to lead us with an opening prayer.
Good morning to the organizers and co-participants. And we have a prayer before we start. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this morning. Thank you for the privilege of being here today. It's not our power. Daddy, we are grateful. Accept our thanks in the name of Jesus. Father, we pray everywhere we acknowledge you of your glory. Have mercy in the name of Jesus. Daddy, we pray, oh God, the purpose of this program, that is for national transformation at large. That may we witness it in the name of Jesus. And Lord, we pray that you bless the organization and on the stage shall not miss heaven. In Jesus' mighty name we pray.
Thank you very much, Ms. Omolayo. Okay, I would also like to acknowledge the presence of some of our directors. They are connected to this session virtually. We have the CBOT of the foundation. She's connected virtually. We have other members of the board that are also connected. So we acknowledge their presence here. So I would like to call on Mr. Martin to give us the opening remarks.
other people's money with respect. We were able to use the money we got in 2018 for the program for which they gave it, and the remaining part of the money was what we used to set this training up. And that is why you are another set of beneficiaries, right, from the fund we got from Google in the year 2018. And with your set, we shall be finishing the money, right? So you are the last set of spenders of the money we got in 2018. But I pray that we will get another money and another money, so that we will have other people and you will not be the last. In Jesus' name. Okay, so having said that, why are we doing this? In 2017, we went around about 9 schools, public schools, and we did an assessment for teachers, subject assessment, math, English, general knowledge. We gave them biro and paper. We sat them down in the classroom. They took an assessment, and unfortunately, I'm not mentioning the issue. We can't come and quote me. They didn't do well. That's just the truth, and we have our evidence to show they did not do well. We saw a major gap in specialized areas, maths especially. We knew that teachers were struggling with maths. If you don't know what you want to teach, in fact, if you know what you want to teach, you still struggle to teach. How much less if you don't even know the subject? And it was a major problem because they were leading students on to falsely think that maths was a difficult subject to learn. And you cannot give what you don't have. So that was why we said, you know what? Aside from teaching, training people in general pedagogy and so on, training school leaders, let us also pay attention to subject teachers. And this is the very first of the subjects that we are addressing. And that's what we call the subject enhancement program in maths. So tomorrow we can have in English, in basic science, and so on and so forth. Okay, so that was what brought us here, but I will not tell you much about that because I have the expert right next to me. Mrs. Ndidiaka is a math guru, but she was not born like that, so don't worry. You also can come up to the call. So she will come later to talk to us about the technical aspects of this training. But I just have to let you know where we started from. Now, you are here, and I must say that I appreciate the fact that we have you in large numbers. I would like to technically believe that all of you here are mathematics teachers. If I'm correct, let us say yes. So if I'm wrong, let us say nay. The yes still have it. No matter what you say, the yes will still have it. Okay, so we believe that you are math teachers, and we also believe that you have the support of your school managers, the proprietors, proprietresses, the head teachers. They were the ones that sent you down here for you to come and learn better ways of teaching mathematics. Now, it will not end with you. You are just a representative of your school. I'm sure in your school you have an average of 6 to 7 teachers, right? And in primary school, we really do not have specialized teachers. You teach all subjects. All right, so the opportunity you now have is to teach math differently. And you have to take that back to go and teach other people around you, especially in your school. Okay? So that is very, very important. Now, what would you expect? What would you expect in this program that you are coming to? You're going to expect 3 in-person trainings. What was it in-person? COVID has come with its blessing. You can hear me, right? So COVID came with a blessing whereby you can learn from the comfort of your rooms. You really do not have to come outside, right? But the beauty of this training is that we are going to have 3 physical sessions. Thank you. We're going to have 3 physical sessions, and today, right after this opening ceremony, we're going to have the very first one. And then after now, we're going to have another one next week. But before that other one, in the course of this week, you will be required to learn online. I want to be all of us have Android or smartphones. If you have yours, I have mine. Okay. And then you have that on the phone.
If you don't have, speak to the project manager or people will find a way to assist you, to support you with some data, to support your learning. In fact, I understand that you're going to be supported with some transport allowance as well. Just to support you. It may not be much, but it's just to show you how nice and how thoughtful the function will be. So between now and next week, you can go online and take your own self-paced course. It's very interesting. Not just doing a fantastic job of creating your courses and packaging them in an engaging way. So it's not going to be boring, I assure you. And then you come back next Saturday, right, for the second in-person session, which is going to build on what you learned today and what you have learned in the course of the week, right? And then we'll build on and we'll continue. And after that, we'll go back for 2 weeks to continue learning online. And then you come back the second Saturday of October, the 9th of October, you come and have your final in-person session. In the course of the week, you will be expected to carry out certain tasks and assignments. I know schools will be resuming soon, but do not let that be an excuse. In fact, schools are resumed. I think this is a first week ending, right? There are a few others that will do next week. But don't let that deter you. We have seen excuses of, my workload, my this, my that. Let me tell you the truth. You are the first beneficiary. And the knowledge can never be taken away from you. Be fair to your employers who have nominated you, and be fair to your colleagues who will learn from you. So your failure to do what you need to do is actually impacting negatively on others. And the biggest entity that you must think about in the course of this work is will be the children. They are the children that are passing through you. So we understand. If you get it right now, every session, some of you have up to 50 students passing through you annually. Am I correct? Some of you have more than that. It means that for the rest of your years as a teacher, you have an opportunity to impact thousands of students. Teach them to love mathematics. Teach them to become maths lovers. And when they are good at maths, it rubs off majorly on all other subjects. Please, do we understand? So that's my chat to you this morning. It's supposed to be a welcome and opening remark, but I hope that you've found a reason, maybe a new reason, to be committed to this course. Finally, we're going to ask for your discipline. You are going to be disciplined. It's like we're having adult students. So remember the way you used to, so we'll not scold you that way, but remember the way you expect your students to listen to you, to do your bidding, right? To work on their assignments, to turn in assignments. We have such expectations of you. It will not be forever, it's just for a short while, and all of this will be done with. So once again, I'd like to welcome all of you to the subject enhancement program in mathematics, the very first edition. There will be multiple editions to come, but it will not be you. It will be some others, isn't it? And also, once again, I'd like to appreciate the leadership of Women Oil Foundation for this fantastic opportunity they've given us. And finally, I'd like to appreciate the partners, starting from Natural House Consulting, the technical and implementing partner, to our host partners. You don't know what you have saved us, madam. You saved us millions of naira in looking for a commercial facility to use. Isn't this beautiful? Please put your hands together for all kinds appreciation. Thank you very much. We really appreciate it. And we have right foods. We spend hundreds of thousands of naira to buy refreshments for participants. And Right Food said, we're going to give you drinks, we'll give you snacks for your participants to enjoy. Isn't that amazing? Please put your hands together for them. Unless I want to get fired as the managing consultant of BAF, will I not mention Tasty Fried Chicken? You are going to be eating lunch from Tasty Fried Chicken. Wow. So please appreciate them again. All right. Thank you very much. And I want to thank you for coming in advance, for being disciplined, and for staying committed. God bless you all.
very much, Mr. Martin, managing consultant. I believe that clap was just too small for what he said. Thank you for that great insight into the foundation of how we do, and also welcoming to the project program. Thank you very much. So right away we have Mrs. Indiaka, like we mentioned before. She's our technical partner, she's also a technical and partner on this project. So I would like to welcome Mrs. Indiaka. You take us through why we need this project at this time.
Good morning, everybody. Let me start this way. English teachers in the house, can I hear you shout? Okay, please post first. Maths teachers in the house, can I hear you shout? So, good morning, everybody. Permit me to just stand. As a teacher, it's difficult to sit down when you have a number of things in your body. So I'll start off by acknowledging the founders of this foundation, Uncle Kunde and Auntie Adebayo. Family has said this, but it's by grace, purely by grace. And you take that kind of faith to convert it into joy for many other people. So they do deserve a round of applause. So, thank you. I'd also like to appreciate all the POT members. A number of them have joined online. And I would like to appreciate the back team. Kami cannot separate himself from back. He used to be there. He's still there. And he's laid a good foundation. So Kami, Obiwe, John, Wale, everybody, I want to say well done. And thank you very, very much for all you're doing. And of course, my team, I'm not here alone. I have a number of them around the entire area. Well, you'll see all of us soon. And all other partners I'd like to acknowledge, especially Home Science Association. I remember the day Femi was going to come with the team and he said, do I know anybody? I said, I don't know anybody. I said, God will go ahead of you, just go there. And today the rest is history. God actually honored our faith. So, why are we doing this? We can't separate this from where we started from. When Adebayo started, the foundation started, the journey wasn't clear. One thing was clear, there was a desire to help children in their education. That was very clear. And the reason is, Bumi himself was one committed to children. He was paying fees, he was doing so many things that his parents knew nothing about. And so everybody felt the best way to honor his memory is to continue. So the first project was about getting children who had scholarships into secondary schools. And it will amaze you to know that, how many were we looking for? 10? How many did we find in the end? The very first assessment, this common entrance, right? They wanted children from public secondary school, public primary school. We found nothing. So the first step was for us to prepare them. And that was why when we had the opportunity in your house to test what we started in the math room. You can see math room on my chest. Math room is something I started when I was in the classroom. I used to teach 4 to 5 year olds. And I found out that I will raise children in kindergarten. Once they get into year 1, before half of the first term, they're back to me because they're just struggling. And so we developed this training. That's the history of it. Finished with children, and I began to share with teachers, first in the school where I was, and then we took it out. And we've trained today over 1,000 teachers. So this is adding another 300 to our kitty, and I'm really grateful for this opportunity. But I'm grateful for the fact that Femi did not allow me rest. We were used to training our 30 teachers at most, and he kept hounding me. Write this thing, produce something, take half of it virtual. He hounded me, I didn't respond, but I'm grateful that I have responded. Thank you very much, Femi, for that. So that's what this is about. But the main lesson I learned from my journey of working with children and also teachers is that it's really not about the numbers. It's not about the topic of maths. There's much more to teaching maths. teaching math starts first and foremost from your hearts. If you do not believe in those people, if you don't love them, if you cannot model to them that they can do math up to any level, they're not going to find it. And so it set me on the journey and I started researching. One of the works I found that that's the video that we shared that you watched. And that lady is Jobola. And she's done so much work. She's a professor of math education at the Stanford University in the United States. So she's done quite a bit. And I started following a lot of them. Tilt the laptop so I can see. Just tilt it and see if you can do it. So a teacher will always be a teacher. So I'm going to share, it's full of the screen a bit. Perfect, thank you. Yeah. So a teacher will always be a teacher. So I'm going to share with you how many things can we see there? There's one big circle. Those who are close to it, what's written in the big circle? Don't worry, they'll echo it to you. Thank you. And surrounding that, we have 3 circles. Okay, as a teacher, and I'd like somebody to answer this question, so no chorus answers. As a teacher, which one do you have most control of? I know you can't see. You can't see, don't worry. Listen to what I'm saying. So you have 3 circles. The first circle has the circle in the center has maths learners, and surrounding it you have curriculum, you have assessment, and you have pedagogy. As a teacher, which one do you have the most control of? Yes, I saw your hand. Please, a round of applause to her. Victoria, can you please collect one of those Eniola outside? I already told you the what's it called I want. So you have a gift for me. Pedagogy. And pedagogy is not just about, it's not about the curriculum. It's about the how you teach. So out of the 5 modules, only 2 modules are going to focus on specific topics. Please bring it. So lady, you are the winner of my first gift today. This is the group. On behalf of the foundation, you're welcome. All right, so as math teachers, that's what we're going to examine before we now put it onto lesson planning, lesson implementation at the end of the day. So I'm going to encourage you to have a very open mind, right? You need to have a very open mind. The curriculum is fixed. You can't change the scheme of work. Assessment to a reasonable extent is fixed. What you can change is your style of teaching. And once you change your style of teaching, you're going to change your outcomes. But it starts with your attitude towards those children. So we're going to be looking at 4, you can see 4 boxes there. Well, you can hear me say there are 4 boxes there. And you have direct teaching, you have indirect teaching, and you have experiential, right? All these things, we're going to model them as we teach, as we deliver our sessions. There are 5 fantastic facilitators here today, and so they will share a number of these things with you. But I'd like somebody close to that quote to rise up and read that quote out for me. Most of my work as a math teacher is a given math. All my students believe that most of my work as a math teacher is a given math. It believes students believe that they can also do math. We don't talk about that enough, like those reasons. Thank you. So you don't talk about the fact that any child can learn math at any level they wish to. It's a mind thing. As Carol Dweck said, there are 2 types of mindsets. You have the fixed mindset and you have the growth mindset. So what I need you to do for me now is everything that has to do with the fixed mindset in your heart. I need you to drop it under that chair you're seated on and don't take it when you're going to your class. And so we'll come and pack everything out for you. If you are not open, you're not going to learn anything in this session. They're going to share things with you that don't sound normal. They don't sound normal. But I can tell you, in over 20 years of being in education is my second career, not my first. I've first career, I worked as an accountant for many years before I decided that I wanted to go into education. So these are things tried and tested in my house with my children and in classroom with many students who are doing excellently well now. There's some of them who are lawyers today. They know maths, but they are not using it in their careers, but they are very comfortable with maths. So when it comes to their finances and all that, they do excellently well. So I want to encourage all of you. Please keep your minds very open and be ready to excel. Be ready to take those children and fly as high as they can. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Jayaka. Thank you. Okay, I believe I didn't see anybody dropping anything under their chairs. We have our volunteers around here. We have so many volunteers around that are ready to take up those baggages and drop on that chair. You understand? So thank you very much. All right, so as a foundation, we believe teachers are the most important resources in the classroom. That's why we'll be doing this and we'll keep doing it over and over again. So right now, I'll be calling on, okay, I'll call on our partners that are represented here. We all know Google is our funder, right, on this project. But unfortunately, they are not represented here. We also have other partners, supporting partners represented here. So they'll come up to give us who doing messages. So I'd like to start with Mr. Wale from Right Food.
Good morning. The organizers of this great platform, distinguished sponsors, and ladies and gentlemen, I bring good tidings. Truly world class, proudly Nigerian right foods. Yes, so education is one of the driving forces of the nation. And innovation is one of the things that pushes this education. And in line with this same message, everyone sitting here today is here because you are empowering a society, no matter how small it is. In your classrooms, you have a society of your own, which constitutes the nation, Nigeria, where we all belong. So your impact in your class actually contributes to what the entire nation enjoys. And this is why we as Right Foods Limited have taken the bull by the horn, and we say to you, be a fearless teacher, even in your classes. So you can train these students to, fearlessly take their notes and understand and be able to do the math. Not just to do it for passing the exam, but to have an understanding and be able to do, like she said, even much more. I had an experience when I was in school, in secondary school. I had a teacher who made me hate maths, and then I had another teacher who made me love maths. So it all depends on how you are able to make your students see it, understand it, and do it. So the power is in your hands. We are going to all build this nation together, but it starts from your classroom. I want somebody to say, I'll be a fearless teacher. Can you say it one more time? So Right Foods is encouraging every one of us to be a fearless teacher in our classes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wale. I'll be a fearless obedient. Okay, so I'd like to call on Mrs. Idiare, host head teacher for this to give us a good witness.
I'll start by saying, we are so excited about this now. That's the question. Recently, just very much recently, talking before we receive, we had to employ certain teachers and put our adverts out, and some of them applied. One particular one called me. One called me, I didn't think initially, and one came again. I have got my CV, and I'd like to work in your school. I said, don't stop the CV, we're going to call you for interview. And again, interview, I saw his CV and I was quite excited because he studied mathematics and physics. So I was quite excited. So I'd like to have it. Even though we're not looking specifically, because for us in home science, from upper primary we have math teachers, specialized math teachers. We have subject teachers from that level. But I wanted the math specialists also in the class. Sometimes we want to put that in case we have an issue or we need to do start testing. Even though I'm coming to teach us. So we come for the interview, and our interview starts with saying, wow, let's do. And wow, that guy is programming. After that, 10 over 10, 10 over 10, 10 over 100 maths, 10 over 100 maths, and this teach direct mathematics in the university. Yes. But you know, the problem starts always as primary school. That's why that is important. All right, I think this is awesome. No, and I start ahead of you. How passionate I am when it comes to this issue because it's the foundation. Starts from there. In English, I think about 100. And guess what? That was like interview. Okay, how much would you like to collect from us? Not be 100,000 naira. So I thought I was going to call you back. Like I see your paper. Beg you, how much do you think I pay you? I pay you. So man, really great thing. So please don't take it lightly. We are here to they look like they are camping up. They're not paying. They brought us here. They brought treat us, and we have a mentality because we are not paying so much. They are not paying for it. They want because they real opportunity and the foundation will go to us. So let me give you another story. I discovered I don't like math, and I tried knowing it. And I'm so glad that I'm doing they are math schools. Because I couldn't tell when I was going to school, I had to make up with them. And I realized that about 10 years ago, I just discovered that math was difficult. Because I was in a school where they organized math training, and they made everybody of us to attend the training. And the guy that came back, is it math that English? This is not hard now. So how come I never knew it? But it starts from math teacher. Once you see these children, the children themselves, before they were the word math. So it's connote hard. You are the one that will make them to know that no, that's not what it connotes. And I believe we are all going to do that. So on behalf of home science is a very big family. I'm an apostle of home science. So I'm honored though because I'm the baby. So I'm greatly honored to stand before you and to bring this good message from them, starting from the presidents of home science association all over. We are big, we are really big. Our secondary school together post university. So we are. Because initially when the letter came, because we are very skeptical, our name, we want to protect our name and everything, and I will be in this step, so don't just take anything. So initially when the letter came, I was like, want to wrote the letter. But somehow my eye went to the letter again, and I didn't even read it. Foundation. I didn't even bother to foundation. This they are come again. Science. Well, maybe that one. Somehow my thing went again. I said, okay. I read it. I just got fascinated. I said, mask. That's what's the mask. Okay, let me push it later. And as I took the letter to her, she just read it and said, this thing is not a bad idea. I'll give them more. Let them do it now. That's how together constant. So we are most delighted, and I think we are not too sure what's going to happen, but we are mind blown. There's an organized foundation on everything like that. I tried reading, once you give anything, I'll just go to Google. I want to know what it is. What is all about? I want to, in fact, first and foremost, I want to find out if they are even, if they can find that they are, Nigeria. So, and I read the story. Probably I don't know how, I never get to remember. Because when I just typed the name, I saw a burial of the story. All right. But somehow, like Charlie said, somebody has not paid to join. And I pray that God will continue to give them everlasting joy through your effort and what you do in the life of all these children. So we are presenting this good message. Congratulations, you started and you will continue. Everything that will make it continue, God is committed. I'm sure God is happy about this program. So God himself is committed and will always make a way out. Please do your best. These children are the future leaders. I know maths is the core subject. You don't pass it, you are going nowhere. They are our future leaders. And as a head teacher, sometimes I tell myself, really need so much. If you must get these future leaders, let's not miss words. A lot of things are going wrong in the educational sector. Even the private school system, somehow they are becoming money conscious, and that's where you want to put their focus on. But as teachers, just remember that your job is not just anything about money. Your reward, you can't quantify your reward. That's why whether you are paid well or not, immaterial. Sometimes even tell myself they can't even pay me. They can't pay us. If you understand that, even when you begin to see it in the life of your children, my children are so good that they do anything. I'm currently running a program in Maryland, and my SS3, I gave her one of my assignments in Unilag, not as a degree, first degree. I imagine what I'm doing there. I gave her one of my assignments, and she did it in secondary school, writing YF. She first got it's here now. She got all the by the time I was reading it, I was like, these are some of the rewards we get. These are some of the rewards. I'm sure she can testify to that. These are some of the rewards. Meet our home science mamas. You'll be amazed. These are old people. They are still, some of them are 85. They are still working. They are still coming to offices. Some are 86. They are still coming to offices. I'm sure that's the reward. What they have sown, God is committed to it. So don't miss that. Don't miss that. And God will bless the foundation. God will continue to bless them. I am so happy they have grandchildren. So happy. Because that was first time I went to. I went to show that they have grand. I'm so happy. And God is committed to keep the works of their hand, committed to keep this dream and the life of this young man alive. Thank you so much. That's all. Thank you so much, Mr. Again. Thank you for accommodating us. We say a very big thank you to you and your association as a whole. So I would like to also call on Mrs. Injidaka as well to also give us a brief good message as the as our technical partner. So she'll give us a good message as well.
As I said earlier, this is more political than anything. You know, when you go to all these government functions, you always have one good way or the other. But my goodwill to you, please raise your manner. You see, this manner is just about maybe not even up to 1/10 of what we've gathered along our way on that journey. So I'm going to say to you, this manner, take it apart. All your exercises, make sure you do it. And when you get back to your schools, please make sure you cascade this to all your other team members. So that note, I'm going to please put it down. I'm going to say to you, the choice is yours. Out of this journey, I have raised many, many facilitators. And I'm proud to say that at least 2 members of this team here passed through this course, and they're doing many things. Whatever you learn is yours. What you do with it is your choice. We're going to be working with about 300 teachers, and I'm sure that these 300 teachers, each person will come in contact with at least, let's say, 100 children along the line. 300 times 100 is what? 30,000, okay? That's in one session, right? That's in one session. 30,000, if we find another 300,000, oh, okay, the camera, all right. If we find another 300,000, how many will that give us? The same thing. So imagine the ripple effect. If you can do this in Lagos, take it across Nigeria and ultimately Africa. And we have the likes of people funding this thing. You know what? The entire nation will change because problems will be solved on a daily basis. So I say, please take this very seriously. A lot of work has gone into it. People have spent millions of naira on this program. Please make it work their one. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Njaka. Finally, we're not running on this session. We'll follow Mr. Martins. Outside him being the managing consultant for PAF, Mr. Martins is also the CEO of Impact-Based Consulting. So I would like this, he's also one of our partner campaign managers. So I would like him to give us his good message as a partner.
Okay, this time around, let me stand up, right? So that I will also pretend like I'm a teacher, isn't it? Until I entered the education space, just about 6 years ago, I didn't know the bulk of work that education. Hello, are we safe? Just because we mentioned teachers, you see what happened? Well done, teachers. The truth is this, I do not envy you. No, I do not envy you. I can't even teach those who teach. They will just sack me because I'll beat them. And I know that it's not good to beat them. Right? So I've really learned a lot from teachers. And that was one of the motivations, right, that made us to also embark on the journey of helping school owners, but more importantly, helping organizations in the development sector. And you know that schools are actually one of the key institutions in that sector, right? But we have a passion to support non-profit organizations, NGOs, and schools generally, right, to upscale their impact. And that's exactly what we're doing with Umeli Dayo Foundation. We are project management partners to ensure that, for example, today is a success, and all the remaining days of this training will be a success. So it's an honor to be working with the foundation in that capacity, right? And you know, I wear 2 hats for now, okay? So it's an honor, and we wish all of you the very best. on behalf of the Impact Based Consulting, wish you the very best. We pray that what you learn from here will not end here. We hope that one day, Mr. Data said something, that 2 of your facilitators today also passed through this kind of training many years ago. That tells us something. You don't have to end your career in the classroom. She told you that many years ago she was also in the classroom, and she still goes to the classroom, just that our audience is kind of different now, right? So it's not just about teaching in the classroom. There is more to being a teacher than going to the class, holding the chalk or the marker, right? You can get creative and stand out in your career as a teacher, but it begins with what you know. You cannot give what you don't have. So on that note, we wish the foundation a great outing, and we also wish you all a great outing. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Impact Based Consulting. Hello? Okay, so we have a few minutes left, we'll break out into our various groups. But before we break out into our various squads, we know you have so many expectations, right, from this training that I believe will address at the end of the day. At the end of the training, your expectations will be met. But at the same time, we want you to also commit to us. Like, okay, this is what we are ready to do, this, we're ready to go to this extent to do. We're offering you a lot, so we want you to commit to this, what we are giving you. So we'll have 2 representatives, 2 of you that will speak on behalf of about 300 schools represented here. Tell us that, yes, we're going to do this. So I have, of course, I'll call on Ms. Tennyson Lovett from Forest North Nursery and Primary School to give us her commitment remark.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Mrs. Timothy Lovett from Forest District Primary School, Badagry. And I feel so honored and blessed to be one of the participants of this program. I want to thank God Almighty for making it possible at first, and also to thank Bumi Adedayo Foundation and other partners and all the trainers and facilitators for organizing this program. Now, we all believe that mathematics is a challenging subject, and a lot of people see mathematics to be boring. Am I right? I remember when I was teaching mathematics years ago, and in the secondary school then, and when I go into the classroom, everybody would like, she has come again, this boring subject and all that, because it is challenging. But during the course of our first training, we were made to understand that mathematics can be fun. There are funny ways in which you can teach the subject and be able to carry the children along. And since I started applying some of those methods, I've been seeing changes. So my expectation today is to learn more. I am yet to unlearn. I am yet to learn, and I'm also yet to relearn, and also to pass it on to the children, because they are the end result. So I expect to be able to bring up mathematics guru who will continue to change the directives in this subject. And I also want to thank Bumi Adedayo for always bridging the gap between those in the low-income schools and those in the high-income schools. Most of the things we are learning are the things they actually do. I remember pre-COVID, when we were at home and I wanted to learn the program, and I was asked to pay 150,000 naira. And I was like, where will I get that amount of money from? How much am I being paid? But Bumi Adedayo Foundation and the other partners gives to us on a matter of gold. So I want to thank you all for that. God will continue to bless you and bless us all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Dennis Lovett. I will say amen to your prayers. So finally, I'll call on Mr. Favor Shuku from Testimony Nursery and Primary School.
Good morning. Good morning. Yeah. Thank you. My name is Favor from Testimony Nursery. First and foremost, I want to thank back for the first project charity. It was awesome. In fact, there's a lot of things I don't know then. That after that, I'm using it to make my own personal money. Using the PowerPoint to prepare lesson plan. But I have so many lesson parents. I said, sorry, I can't come to your home, but I can teach your child online. If you want it, no problem. And they're like, oh, wow, that's a very good idea. And so I said, thank you, Marcy. Thank you for that. And I'm very excited to be here again. I will say thank you very much. I keep thanking you. Mr. Chideka, thank you very much. Those I enjoyed it. My expectation here is not to go back to same, to go back a different mass teacher. Like the first teacher, so many people, once you enter the school and it is smart time, and people will say, no. But I think after the first training with this engineer, some of them are think, okay, that like, let's have maths. We have maths now. Some people, some of them are working. Please come. So my expectation is to go back as a reformed person in mathematics, to pass it on to my students, not just my students, also to my colleagues, so that we'll be able to raise a generation of mathematics students. Those who will stand, even if they are not reading it in their career, they will stand. Actually, for me, I did mathematics, I did food technology. So here I am today. Thank you, Bob. Okay, before we move on, we're almost done with the session. Some of you have TRTP, right? TRTP means Tech Relevant Teacher Program. Now, it was a project that we recently concluded. It was sponsored by Coca-Cola Foundation, and it focused on empowering teachers on the use of technology. You all know how the schools were shut out last year, and only a few schools were thriving, right? So that was what necessitated that program. And I can tell you boldly that over 600 educators from 200 schools were impacted with that training. And Favor happens to be one of those people that attended the training, and you can see, and as well as Robert Tennessee, right? Now that particular program is still free. Let me quickly use the point to let you know that you can still go on our learning management system, our LMS. It's at balearner.org, balearner.org. Look for that particular course there, and you will be able to take it like at your own pace. But don't let that one interfere with this one. Once you're done with this, you can go at your own pace, take advantage of it. Thank you for the kind words, gentlemen and gentlemen. We hope to see more of this kind of words through this particular program. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Like Mr. Femi has said, my own expectation is that I believe we see data we keep pinching so that we'll keep seeing the result. So just expect so many pinches as you are going into this training for a positive result. Hallelujah. It was deliberate, actually. Okay, so we've actually come to the end of the session, the opening ceremony. And I believe we've stayed there for quite a long time. You guys have been here since 8 a.m. And we cannot have our refreshment partner here, and you will not be refreshed. So before we go into the Okay, while we're doing photograph session, while we're taking photograph, refreshments will go around, and we'll be having like 30 minutes break for you. Okay, 15. Okay. 15 minutes break, right? So that you can just refresh yourself with what right food is offering you. And after that, you break into your respective cohorts. Remember, at the point of registration, you were told your cohort numbers. So, cohort 1 is here. If you don't know you belong to cohort 1, you will remain here. Cohort 2 is this way. Don't worry, I'm just calling it as you're going and just let whoever you see, maybe a volunteer or something like that, just let them show you cohort 2. Cohort 2 is behind here. Cohort 3 is the second floor. Cohort 4 upstairs, and cohort 5 is the other way. So just ask for direction. So I think we should start let's start giving out the refreshment. So thank you once again. I really appreciate you for coming. And
Please, this cohort usually creates issues. Cohort 1, wave your hand. You are in cohort 1. Okay, what are you supposed to do after this session ends? Just wait here. We'll bring in tables to rearrange your own class so you can have work tables. Cohort 2, please wave your hand. Okay, where is your class? Just behind us here. Don't climb the stairs. Cohort 3, where are you? Okay, you are going to the first floor, right? Cohort 4. Good. Where are we going to? Second floor. And cohort 5, the next block there. Okay. Please do not go to somebody else's cohort. If you go there, start sharing the refreshment. If you go there, you will be marked absent for the day. Let me also restate that when you came in, you signed in, right? That's your signing in. When it's about 30 minutes to the end of today's training, we will come to your classes with your sign out sheet. You will be required to do what? Sign out. At the end of the day, your sign in, sign out will make up your attendance for today. If you sign in and did not sign out, you did not attend. If you sign out and you did not sign in, you did not attend. Because we wonder where you got it from. And if you cannot be confirmed to have signed in or attended, no transportation, no data allowance. I must also state that when you were signing in, we gave you a slot to write your names. Right? You did that? Okay, so it was swapped for you to do during your sign out. So when we bring your sign out sheet to you, you will be required to write your account name, account number, your own, not the school's own. If it is different from the name, it will not be processed by the system. Do you understand, please? Some of us also called that your math teachers were not available, you are replacing. Whoever is here today is the one that we know as the beneficiary. The other names have been pulled off the system automatically. So today we have created our final database for this program. Please do not send us messages on the platform saying change number so to so name. If you do not do that today on the hard copy, then you won't be able to do it again. And that's the name that your certificate will bear. Please, do we understand? We want to minimize the back and forth around name spelling and what have you. Then finally, I need us to please note that a link will be shared on our WhatsApp platform. Do we all belong to the WhatsApp groups, to the various groups? Good. We'll share a link on that platform while you are in the classroom. It's for us to get your feedback regarding today's program. We are open to learning from your feedback. You talk to us about the environment, the food, the facilitators, the content, everything. Just tell us the way you feel and how we can improve on this. Please, the way you understand. We want you to please fill this link, this link and fill the form so that we can become better. Now, I said finally, sorry, next week Saturday is the 25th of September. We are not going to have this kind of opening ceremony anymore. This is just once. However, 25th of September next week, Saturday, makes it 8 years since Bumi Adedayo passed to glory. And coincidentally, we'll be gathered here in the name of the foundation set up in his honor. And I think it is only fair for us to maybe come together for about 30 minutes, say a word of prayer for the family left behind. If we can, we will get his widow to join us, Mrs. Yemisi Adedayo, right? Who can also come around and let us share a story with us. How she also coped with the loss of her husband, a mother of two, and how she managed through, and she's still bouncing and standing till today. Isn't it worth listening to? So let's come early next week as well. We're looking at 9 o'clock, so we don't disturb the class. Right? 9 o'clock to 9:30, we run that and then we go on to our classes. Thank you very much for your attention.
One more thing, please. I know a number of us have been here since 8. And the tendency will be that next week, you will want to come at 10, that they didn't start on time. Please don't vote for that. Next week, 9:30, we will start. I'm sure a lot of you know that the team of facilitators have been announced since about 8 o'clock. Some of them came here before 8. So if they had told us that at 8, we're ready to go. So next week, we're going to, and today I'm going to appeal to you. There's a lot of things you will learn. If you get tired, stand up. You have a lot of activities that's got to keep you good. If you get tired, stand up. You need to drink water. Whatever you do, stay awake and get the benefits of all the sessions you are going to have today. Thank you.
Hello? Okay, so we come to the end of this meeting, of this ceremony, and after that we'll have like a 15 minutes to reflect the conversation to our floor. So we would like to appreciate you. We would once again to say congratulations to you. And also, we also like to acknowledge those of us that connected back. I think we have a number of teachers, one of them, and CBOT connected online. We appreciate you. Thank you very much. And we hope that impact will be made at the end of this training. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Five female, 5 male. Five. Five female, 5 male.
Mr. John. Mr. John. I can end it now.
Facilitators, please, we need you here.
While we wait for them, can we have